All right, let's hear Friedman talking about how they're jailing protesters and doing everything for the Jews. Netanyahu, too.
These ignorant demonstrators. Who are they demonstrating for? For these murderers, these rapists, these mass killers. This is a reflection of a deep rot that has pervaded the intellectual hub of free societies. And this vilification of Israel, the Jewish people, and Western values has been propagated by a systemic alliance between the ultra-progressive left and radical Islam. It must be resolutely fought by civilized societies to safeguard their future. This is why we must all commend President Trump's decisive actions against anti-Semitism, and we must pressure other governments to do the same.
A government can do in 2 months more than any organization can do in its lifetime. And so when we talk about the importance of a bipartisan fight against anti-Semitism, which of course I endorse, and I, as my predecessor said, I condemn anti-Semitism on the right and on the left. I'm an equal opportunity condemner of anti-Semitism.
You're alluding to Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, none of them are any good on the right. On the left, I don't like any of these anti-Semites, and I'm not shy about it. But the government, the United States government or the government of France or the government of any other country has the power to rein in anti-Semitism in a much more effective way. And people say, well, the governments are not in the business of changing the way people think. That's true, but, to my thinking, most people who are, anti-Semites, most of these people running around, we're not going to win their hearts and minds because they don't have hearts and they don't have minds. So,
See, we don't actually have to debate them or disprove them. We just dehumanize them and say they don't have hearts or minds. And they're able to get away with this type of retorts because so many other Christians are just unhinged lunatics saying the stupidest things that are so easily disprovable. Yeah, dehumanizing Amalek rhetoric. They always say this too. Oh, we can't reason with them because they're unreasonable. We can't, you can't even engage with them because you just have to censor them. And
well, the governments are not in the business of changing the way people think. That's true, but, to my thinking, most people who are, anti-Semites, most of these people running around, we're not going to win their hearts and minds because they don't have hearts and they don't have minds. So, how are we going to...
It's just a law of nature. Esau hates Jacob for no reason. See where that rhetoric comes from? From the Kabbalist. Oh, they're just born with evil, darkness hearts. It's a law of nature. Esau hates Jacob. It's part of the prophecy. And then you get retarded Christianity blaming them for killing God. And that's where we're at. How's that worked out for us?
There's no reason to think we're ever going to convince them, but we can deport them, we can put them in jail, we can make their lives miserable, we can cut off their funding, and that's what the Trump administration is doing for the first time.
Here, so does it sound like we're there's about to be 110 to you guys? No? Well, then why are kooks like Stu Peters running around saying it? All that does is give them ammunition to justify putting us in jail, deporting us, making it illegal to criticize them, illegal to boycott them, make our lives miserable.
Cut off their funding, and that's what the Trump administration is think we're ever going to convince them. But we can deport them, we can put them in jail, we can make their lives miserable, we can cut off their funding, and that's what the Trump administration is doing for the first time.
Yeah, tired of winning? Tired of winning, huh? This is where the controlled op Christians have got us.